Good afternoon and happy Festival of Lights to those celebrating Hanukkah. From the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning. The rain's still coming and wind is a big factor tonight. But before we get into it, a reminder, it's our winter fundraising drive. We could not deliver this reporting without listeners like you. All of KUOW's work is community-funded and people-powered. That means the great coverage you've been hearing about flooding from reporters who are on location came from individual donations. $5, $200, it all adds up to help us make this show. Give a tax-deductible end-of-the-year gift at KUOW.org. Thank you so much. Now on to the news. It's Monday, December 15th. King County crews are quickly piling giant nylon bags along the Green River to shore up a levee that failed earlier today. People in the Aurelia area in Tukwila, Renton, and Kent are advised to go now. Officials say water started coming through the Desimone Levee between Tukwila and Kent around 11:30 this morning. County Emergency Management Director Brendan McCluskey says he's relieved it's not worse at this time.
It looks like a V in the levee. It started at the bottom and kind of caved in, and it looks like a stream running through the levee. It isn't pouring through. It's not a huge amount of water.
There are no injuries, and repair is underway right now. And as of now, there's no estimate for when the evacuation order lifts and when roads in Renton, Kent, and Tukwila will reopen. More than 30,000 people live or work in the area this levee protects. It was damaged by flooding in 2014 and 2020 and is slated for long-term repairs for completion in 2031. Just last week, December 9th, King County ordered emergency work to stabilize the Desimone Levee. kcemergency.com is the best place for people to get information. And now to what's next. Most of western Washington is under a wind advisory until at least 10 o'clock tonight. Gusts are forecast to reach up to 55 miles an hour in some places. The strongest winds are expected to hit the Seattle area to Whidbey Island. It is a bad combination, added with the recent flooding and more rain in the forecast. Dana Felton is with the National Weather Service in Seattle.
The saturated soils are not going to help that situation out at all. The chances of trees coming down definitely higher than normal with the saturated ground.
Another round of heavy rains expected to come tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Here's a little more on that. Another atmospheric river is expected tomorrow night through Wednesday. First, it's projected to bring a lot of rain. But Wednesday, the weather turns colder, which means
that'll keep the water in the mountains in the form of snow instead of running off into the rivers. That'll help ease the pressure on the rivers.
By the end of the week, Snoqualmie Pass could get 24 inches of snow. Stevens Pass could get 35 inches, and Mount Baker could get up to 46 inches. Good for snowpack, but you want to be aware of avalanche risk rising this weekend. But all that said, Weather Service meteorologist Kirby Cook says some area rivers are still headed toward flood stage.
We still have 3 river points that are forecast to reach major flood again, and that's the Skagit River at Concrete, the Skagit River in Mount Vernon, and then the White River at our street down in Pierce County.
Those river crests should hit between Wednesday and Thursday. Other rivers, mostly in Snohomish and King counties, will see moderate flood stages. People are feeling the storm impacts across western Washington today. On our roads, Highway 2 remains closed for a third day today between Skykomish and Leavenworth. There is no estimated reopening with debris, rocks, and flood water over the roadway. Crews are assessing that road today. In the south end, State Route 167 is closed through Auburn because of water over the roadway. There are also multiple closures of local roads in the Kent area due to today's levee breach and in Skagit County due to the ongoing flooding. Tonight, we'll be watching for power outages. I'll be prepping now by keeping devices charged up and securing stuff I have on the porch. Snohomish County is seeing a rapid rise in outages with about 12,000 customers without power as of 4:15 today. About 20,000 Puget Sound Energy customers are without power. and high winds are forecast for the next 3 nights. Another note, city leaders in Burlington are holding a town hall meeting tonight to discuss the severe flooding in their area. Everyone in the city was ordered to evacuate their homes for part of the day Friday after the Gages Slough flooded. But the flood risk is not over as more rain is forecasted. Pulling back, more rain can mean more flooding, which brings with it a third thing, increased risk for landslides. Kate Mickelson is with the Washington Geological Survey. She's watching some of the riskiest places, the areas that have been scarred by wildfires.
If it burned really hot, it can change the properties of the soil so that when rainfall or rapid snowfall occurs, it's not unable to absorb into the ground. Instead, it's water repellent, so it can cause water to just run off the surface.
There is a lot of that property on the eastern side of the Cascades, but already the Geological Survey's been called to an emergency landslide in Skagit County.
We assess what parts of the slope are moving, how big it is, and we try and get as much data on that slope stability of that slide so that we can convey that to emergency managers and the people that need to make the hard decisions.
For people living near a hazard area or steep slope, Mickelson recommends having a go bag ready. Before we launch into other news of the day, one more story on the flooding, a silver lining. The Army Corps of Engineers says it was able to reduce flooding on the Skagit River with emergency operations at 2 upstream hydropower dams. John Ryan reports.
Big dams have big downsides, like killing salmon or drowning whole valleys, but they also have major upsides, including climate-friendly electricity and flood control. As last week's floodwaters were rising, the Army Corps took over 2 Skagit River dams. The goal? Holding back water to reduce flooding downstream. As flows surged into Ross Dam's reservoir, engineers turned off the spigot. The dam held back 99% of water flowing into the reservoir. Even that couldn't keep this flood from breaking records. But the Army Corps estimates dam operations were able to shave at least 4 feet off the river's peak height of about 37 feet. They say that reduced the damage to communities downstream. After the flooding risk dropped on Friday, engineers started releasing water to make space in the reservoirs for the next round of flooding. John Ryan, KUOW News.
And a few other news notes tonight. Washington State's hitting the Trump administration with a new lawsuit over highly skilled workers. Washington's among 20 states suing the feds over the $100,000 fee on new H-1B visa applicants. The states claim the large fee was set arbitrarily and raised concerns that enforcement of the fee could be applied selectively against employers the Trump administration does not like. Amazon is laying off another 84 workers in Seattle and Bellevue as it enters a new calendar year. It's a small layoff compared to the 14,000 workers Amazon cut this fall. According to filings with Washington State, the new separations take effect in February, and the company says it's the result of individual office decisions. And to close out the show today, we're remembering filmmaker and actor Rob Reiner. You may remember him as Jay Matthews in Sleepless in Seattle from the famous Pike Place market scene.
Tiramisu.
What is tiramisu?
You'll find out.
Well, what is it?
You'll see.
Some woman is going to want me to do it to her, and I'm not going to know what it is.
You'll love it.
Reiner and his wife Michelle were killed yesterday in their Los Angeles home. Next time on Seattle Now, UW's astronomy department won't admit new grad students next year because the funding isn't certain anymore. We'll talk with Professor Emily Levee.
It's really easy to admire these gorgeous pictures from NASA, from the National Science Foundation, and just revel in the beauty of space. But people took those photos. People built the instruments that took those photos. Graduate students are painstakingly analyzing tiny bits of light in those photos and really unlocking mysteries of the universe from every single piece of that image.
Hear more Tuesday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See you tomorrow.